G'day guys, just Rob again, bringing another video. Today I'm doing another sort of animated film movie from my collection for you today. Today I'm going to do perhaps a bit of anime for you, which I haven't sort of done yet in this sort of series. This is just a sort of film that I think is very sort of, a lot of people haven't necessarily sort of heard of, and it's a bit sort of underrated I think, and just a film that that I really do like. You can probably tell by the title. It's an animated movie called Space Adventure Cobra, which is a movie that came out. Well, this is actually based on a comic book series, I think, which ran from I think it's 1978 to 1984. And then in '82 they made this film. I think also around the sort of same time they also were in production to sort of make a TV series as well. So essentially the story of this one is actually quite interesting. It reminds me a lot of sort of other movies. It's got a very much sort of a Total Recall sort of storyline to it. Well, I mean the comic book does anyway. This movie here only sort of tells half the story, whereas the comic book obviously tells the whole story. So I've never sort of read the comic books, but from what I've read, I might just explain the story for that. Essentially, you've got a character called Johnson, who's sort of doing this very sort of boring, sort of mundane job, and his friend sort of suggests to him that he should go to this place where they sort of, we can sort of go to dream and, get sort of memories type thing. Very much like, Total Recall. So he goes to this place and sort of asks to be like seems like a head of a harem type thing, and have all these sort of, beautiful women around him type thing. And but anyway, that doesn't happen though. He goes into this sort of dream type thing where he sort of ends up being this Cobra character, and she's kind of like if you ever watched the anime series Cowboy Bebop, very much this similar sort of character to that. Very much like a sort of a rogue, sort of James Bond type character who's really good at martial arts and real skilled and loves women, and sort of gets into all these sort of scrapes, but still manages to just get out just by the skin of his teeth type thing. And yeah, so he sort of has this dream, and he sort of comes out of the dream and sort of driving home, and he sort of crashes into this guy, and the guy ends up sort of being the villain that he was sort of fighting in his dream type thing. And the guy the Cobra sort of pulls out he's got this gun. He's got this sort of gun which is sort of attached to his arm type thing, which is kind of like which he sort of controls by his mind type thing, and he sort of ends up killing this guy. And so he sort of goes home and he sort of realises that he might actually be this Cobra character, and he sort of has this sort of secret compartment in his sort of bedroom and type of thing. He sort of thinks maybe you sort of might have actually been this Cobra character originally, sort of a while ago type thing. He sort of starts to remember type things. I think then he's sort of got the movie, which is sort of takes on from that, and he's sort of hiding away from the what I think they call it, like the space, the pirate guild. They're sort of the bad guys type thing, and so he sort of had like plastic surgery, and he sort of comes back, and the movie sort of essentially he sort of meets this woman, and sort of her backstory is very much like a Superman origin story, where her and her two other sisters, there was this sort of massive big war on their planet, and their parents sort of sent them away, in pods to sort of to safety type thing, and sort of the daughters are sort of grown up now, and they're sort of gone their own separate ways, and essentially this woman's just trying to track down her other two sisters, and so eventually Space Cobra sort of helps out, and sort of this is kind of like the villain. He's called Crystal Boy, and he's like a skeleton type thing, but he's got this crystal sort of body type thing, which is really sort of invincible type thing. And this I won't go back too much into the story, but essentially they just Cobra sort of comes and helps the woman try and find a sister and stuff like that. But also the TV series has got it's very sort of the same storyline. I think it's just slightly different, sort of alternative type telling of it type thing. I've sort of seen the TV series. I think I watched. I think it's like 31 episodes. I think I watched probably 20 of them or something like that. But anyway, the movie itself, I just really like the movie. I just really like the characters and sort of great sort of action scenes and good animation to it, and I love sort of all the sort of the beautiful women, really long sort of hair and big breasts and curvy bodies and stuff like that, and it's just a very sort of colourful animation and great action and very just really nice to watch type thing. Very sort of old school sort of 80s animation, which I just really like, and sort of before they're sort of making, because I sort of noticed these days with anime, it's very sort of lots of sort of sexual innuendo in it and sort of things. Whereas sort of think back in the 80s, it wasn't. I mean, there's a bit of probably a bit of sexual stuff there, but it wasn't as profound, and it wasn't sort of as it was more of a sort of a PG type thing to it. But anyway, but yeah, I just think just a really great movie and just very sort of underrated, and a lot of people haven't sort of heard about it. I mean, if you're a fan of like there's the back, if you can sort of say it. If you're a fan of like Cowboy Bebop or just old school type anime, definitely worth a watch. You can sort of perhaps check down the TV series. That'd be a good watch too. I think I ended up downloading it, I think, but I think I did read somewhere that might actually be doing a sort of a re-release, I think, sometime this year in 2013. I'm not too sure of the actual details of that. I think you can get sort of two versions of this too, the movie. I think there's like I think I got the Madman Australian New Zealand version here, which I don't think so. I think it's like it's not actually the original version. I think the original version had like I think it had some pop band doing the music for it. I think they were called Yellow or something. Which I think a lot of the fans prefer that version, I think, to this one. This one's got both Japanese and English audio. I think that, from what I understand, I think the TV series only got, I think only get it Japanese, I think, from, at the moment anyway. I'm not too sure about the re-release that they're going to do. Anyway, but yeah, definitely just a great movie, definitely worth a watch, sort of one of my favourites. That's it for me, I think, for today. Hope you enjoyed that, and hopefully I should be back just next week just with another movie. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do yet, but I'll do that for you. So just thanks for watching.